Breaking news.
We got breaking news. Hang on, y'all. I don't know if y'all heard. I just pulled up the news and I saw it. Give me 1 second here. We'll break it together. Look. Ooh, two of them. In honor of today. In fact, I might even change shirts. These are some Mardi Gras beads that I caught. Actually, I worked really hard for one of these. I had to chase a truck down to get it. And then I have another one, untangle. So the DEA here in the United States is going to move to reschedule marijuana to a lower tier. So all you conspiracy theorists that think that they're trying to control us and work against everything, they're about to give us weed. So I thank them for that. And that is the top headline of the news today. So as soon as I get these necklaces untangled, I'm going to wear my weed beads today. And feel free to celebrate in any manner of your choosing, as long as it doesn't get my stream shut down. All righty. Well, what do y'all think about that? What's going on with you, Chris?
I had to order a little $3 socket thing from Amazon to finish the car thing. Because my one of my socket wrench things it broke, and it happens to be like the one that I need the most, so I can't go any further until I get that. So.
Are you getting anything out of this, like mental pleasure? Is it helping you relax or anything?
Not really. No. This is a whole different. If the video that I had watched to get an idea of what I was doing had been more thorough and shown me more of what was involved in it, I would not have done this.
So you trusted a YouTube video?
I trusted a YouTube video. I did.
Okay.
Because it was very thorough for the most part. Like, it was very thorough in the first hour of the video. The guy's showing like every bolt, every clip, everything, and then as it gets along, I don't know if the guy just got lazy or what, but I mean,
did you ever go back and read the comments and see if anybody?
I did. I did find another video that actually goes into more detail on some of it, but I've already gotten past that part now. But it's just I probably, even if I had seen that video, I wouldn't have probably.
Well, this is all DIY, like do it yourself ethos. Yeah. So.
I guess it will, when I get it finished, and I will get it finished, and I'll get it put together. It's just taking a lot longer than I thought it was going to take maybe a day or two. I didn't think it was going to take like 4 days, but when I get it finished, it'll feel good to finish it. It'll feel good to have done that. I mean, it's a pretty high level thing to accomplish for a car. So apparently it's like one of the hardest.
I mean, and I hate to say it, but it also shows that you can work. So the more you do.
Well, I can't. The only reason I can do this is because I can sit.
I'm saying they don't. Chris, listen to me. I've worked in it. They don't need much to make a case. So rationalize as you want. I'm just telling you what I know from my end.
Well, like I said, the case is closed anyway, so it doesn't.
Okay. You just went on the letter.
Yeah.
Well. Cool. Good. All right. I got one.
They can't. No further evidence can be entered into the record at this point. So.
Well, I hope you get it. I really do. But if you can't.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, I mean, that's the reason why.
Things you can do.
That's the reason why I'm doing this, is because like I couldn't count on or wait for like disability or take this. This had to be done.
Yeah.
And I might as well do it, right? It's just there's no, I mean, getting $1,400 to get the air conditioning fixed, it's just not realistic right now. So. And I need the air conditioning for my kids, so yeah, it wasn't like, it's not like something it wasn't like something I'm doing out of like, just like because I just decided like, oh, this will be fun to try. It just had to be done. So, and like I said, as opposed to like a lot of the other stuff I need to do around the house, like this, I can sit while doing it. I don't have to stand up. I don't have to be on my feet so I can't fall. Even though I still beat the hell out of myself doing it, but still, that's because of like I didn't have a torque wrench. I've had to go borrow a torque wrench from AutoZone stuff to do a couple things because I was trying to use my drill for it, and the drill wasn't strong enough, and like the drill like whipped around and hit my arm. So,
are you smoking any weed today?
no, I talked about things for like one day, and I don't even know where it is now. I completely lost track.
That little vapor thing.
Yeah, did you see? Look at the size of this welt. See.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's from
what? What is it from?
That's from a car accident, but not the moving kind.
Working on your car?
Yeah.
Is that like ADHD tax part of it?
What's that?
Is it the ADHD tax?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, no, it's just like it's me not knowing what I'm doing tax.
Oh, okay.
I like prior to this, the only thing I'd ever fixed on a car, mechanically replace in a car was like oil filters, air filters, fuses, oil change. I never done anything besides that very basic surface stuff, and this is like tier 3 advanced mechanic work. So, and I didn't actually realize it was that advanced at the time until I read later. I was reading on some like forum after I had started this. It was like, well, first of all, you should know that this is something that only like absolutely like experienced very high level mechanics should ever attempt. And I was like, oh, that explains a lot. Did I have that thing? I gotta have it fixed. Let's see it.
Oh, what?
Here it is. Here, it's not, straight up weed or whatever. It's whatever. I'll pop it.
Oh, is that your thing?
Yeah.
To celebrate. We just passed 420. Now we're on 430. So that could be a new holiday. You have 420 and 430. Well, you have like a whole 10 days of party in between, like Mardi Gras.
It's not going to be effective today, though. I mean, they still have to like go through the whole like.
Well, today's the day they announce. Like, I'm trying to help us get good holidays. Today's the day they announce.
I'm just saying, like, it's not enshrined in law yet. It's going to be. So.
Well, it's good enough for me to celebrate. Wow, that's a huge. And they said marijuana stock shot up today on that announcement. Like,
oh yeah, it's gonna be if it's federally. I mean, now states, I'm sure can still like. I mean, I have a feeling that Texas is still going to probably have some kind of degree of like restrictions on it, just because like they've been complaining about the concept of legalization for a while because they're afraid of the gang wars breaking out the border. Because
I wonder what Louisiana's going to do because they depend on marijuana charges to fill their prison system. That's why it hasn't been legalized there yet.
And I also wonder, are they going to all the people that are in jail for weed, or are those people going to get out of jail for possession?
That's a good question. That's going to be an interesting state to watch because they're going to have a unique issue.
There are so many people in jail for weed right now that, and then they're going to legalize it, and those people's sentences are
probably... Well, they're not legalizing it. They're just rescheduling it to a lower tier, but that should adjust the penalties, though. To me, if they do that, I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah,
but if the penalties are less at a lesser tier, then to me,
what are they rescheduling it to? It's regional Schedule 2 or Schedule 3? Because that doesn't really make too much difference.
I think, is it right now? It's at one of the highest.
It's Schedule 1 right now.
Is that the highest?
Yeah, that's the highest. It's actually classified higher than heroin or meth.
Okay. The new rule, which has to be approved by the Office of Management and Budget, it would not legalize it. But why don't they tell us the
schedule?
Schedules, yeah. Let's see CNN maybe. Which media is the best on this? Some of it is behind paywalls. So let's see. Oh, Schedule 3, which is the same one. Oh, I didn't realize ketamine was Schedule 3. I thought it was higher, lower, and Tylenol with codeine. So that's the level.
So it's basically it's prescription legal.
So if people can be put in prison for Tylenol with codeine and Special K, which
you can only get a ticket, I think, for that. It's basically it's a civil violation at that point. If I'm not mistaken, like I knew somebody that like they actually were legally, they had a legal prescription for it where they had the pills in like a little like pill container thing. They got pulled over by the cops, and the cops were like, what's this kind of thing? It's like I'm sorry, my friend was like, I'm sorry, I just carry a couple extra with me in case. And like, well, you have to have them in the prescription bottle and all this stuff like that. They gave him a ticket, and let him go. It was like, that was like a pain. It was like hydrocodone or something like that. So
yeah, it still has to be approved by this Office of Management and Budget, so that they could still override it, but I don't know that they will. But right now it's Schedule 1 with heroin and LSD, and they're going to move it to Schedule 3 with ketamine, some anabolic steroids, and the Tylenol with codeine. And this came from following a recommendation, not a control or a program, but a recommendation from the Federal Health and Human Services Department, which I think that's where my department is under. Let me check. So they're seeing benefits, and they're recommending that we progress on this issue. Or they're at least not seeing reasons to keep it at Schedule 1.
Well, I mean, that's good. I'm glad. It's ridiculous that it's been Schedule 1 for so long. Anyway, I mean, it's like the meth is Schedule 2. Methamphetamine.
Oh, meth? Like, so it's higher than meth? Oh,
yes.
Fuck! Where's fentanyl?
Fentanyl's Schedule 3, I think, because it's prescribed.
Did you read the stories lately that there's children that are ingesting, like toddlers, infants, and they're showing up in hospitals? Some of them are dying or in critical condition. That is, to me, there needs to be some boundary on this drug use.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, I mean, how are babies getting into fentanyl anyway? I don't even know. I don't even know how you get a prescription for fentanyl. I can't get a prescription for. I've got like a long history of like X-rays that show my back.
In the U.S., I'm not sure your name. I'll just call you. Is it Jewish guy, Hebrew guy, or maybe gal? The U.S. Our drug enforcement agency is going to reclassify marijuana from Schedule 1, which is the highest, the most severe, with heroin and LSD, and they're going to move marijuana to Schedule 3, which is the level of ketamine, some steroids, and Tylenol with codeine. And so that's a big shift on our marijuana policy here. Kana Bosom? Kane? Can just call you Kane? I'll try to remember that. I used to know my letters, actually, when I was studying the occult and tarot, because the Kabbalah used them on the Tree of Life and the tarot cards used them. Oh, and thank you. I appreciate the thumbs up.
Basically, it means that there's going to be like, there's going to be dispensaries like in every state now. You're going to have like real dispensaries, just like they have in like Colorado and Nevada and California. Some
like medical stuff.
Yeah, like that really high grade, like the stuff I can't even touch.
This will help. Don't we have some growers on the panel? This might help some of our community members.
I mean, so I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I know that that'll make it where now you still won't be able to legally, like, if you're just like you're gonna have to get licenses and all that stuff. You can't just like grow weed in your backyard and sell it. Like, that'll still be illegal. Just the same way it would be if you were selling.
But the penalties will be different.
For distribution, I think they're definitely less, but they're not a lot less. You could still get a lot. If you're out there selling like your Tylenol, if you have a bunch of Tylenol codeine and you're selling it on the street like that, you can still get in a lot of trouble with that. Even now, anything that's a scheduled substance at all, if you're selling it without like outside the legal system, like you get in trouble for it. But possession should be pretty much like a civil violation, like a ticket type thing. You shouldn't be able to get anything about it.
That's what the let me try to find. I wish we had some lawyers or somebody that knows this. Joshua Jones might have known it. Okay, here we go. Well, is this is weird though. This is trafficking though, not necessarily possession or use. So let me look at something else.
So, Tribe Exodus, are you?
Let me just ask
Are
that.
you actually in? Are you actually in? You live in over there in Israel or something? Or are you part of the? Are you actually over there living there? I'm interested in hearing firsthand accounts of what's actually like over there. We talk about this stuff on the panel all the time. So you seem very. Oh, you live in Southeast Texas. Okay, well, so do I. So like I said, I live in Dallas. I live in northeast Texas, technically, I guess. But anyway.
All right, let's see if AI can tell me. Penalties for, okay, they do. The penalty thing is complex because they divide it into possession and distribution. So the harshest, though, is for Schedule 1. The harshest penalties for both possession and distribution. So if they bump it to Schedule 3, you still have potential sentences up to 10 years and fines up to $500,000. That still seems harsh. But the penalties are it are a little higher for distribution, but slightly less for possession. I think it's Schedule 2, and then they say Schedule 3 is similar to Schedule 1 and 2, just less.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that means that the possession they'll go a little easier on. So this is me fumbling around the internet. Don't take any what I'm saying as
from my understanding, from what, like I said, I've known people who've gotten arrested or gotten in trouble for having pills like that. If it's Schedule 3, it should be it shouldn't be more than a slap in the wrist type thing. If you just have if you have a normal amount on you, if you have a couple pills on you or something like that. If you have a bag full of pills or something like that, yeah, you'll get slapped with distribution charges, and you'll probably if you get a trunk full of shit, then and you don't have a license to be transporting it or whatever, then you're gonna get a lot more trouble. You can get lots and lots of years jail for that. But I'm just saying,
it does depend on how you look at it and what story you tell yourself about it. But to me, it's it's going from more restriction to less restriction. So to me, I can't see as anything but progress. But I'm not evaluating against some ideal move that they could have made. I'm just looking at where they were and where they are now, and it seems like an advance. Same with things like gay marriage and stuff like that. So I work from the is to the past is to the current is, and some people work from the is to some future ideal. As LA, Louisiana, or that's what I had meant, because Tribe says he lives in Southeast Texas. Louisiana has it legal for medical, and you have to get your prescription through a doctor. So you can't go to these little fly-by-night people that just certify you and give you a med card. You have a doctor's prescription, and you take it to an official pharmacy, and you get your medicine that way. But anything outside of that, use, possession, anything, is subject to up to and including time in jail. Even tourists coming in and partying in New Orleans with the joint or something, they're at risk.
Oh, King Philip, Satyricon class. I guess Satyricon, it's a portmanteau. It's a combination of the word, the title of the earliest known novel that's derived, called Satyricon, and Iconoclast, which is someone who
is technically not a novel. I mean, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. It's technically not a novel. I don't want to go to that rabbit hole, but
yeah, I know it's not. It's the first thing. It's the closest thing that we have to something that's considered a lot of people consider it to be the first novel. I know it's not literally the first. It's not literally a novel.
Because I believe Cervantes is the accepted. progenitor of the modern novel.
That's the closest to that's the first modern novel. Yeah, like in terms of like the way we think about novels today.
The thing that could be called a novel that because Satyricon is, to my knowledge, not a novel. I'm looking it up now. It says a work of fiction.
It's still a fictional thing, I think.
Yeah, but novel is a specific type of genre that started with Cervantes. It's a prose narrative with some other features. In fact, we could look it up. Extended work of narrative fiction, usually written in prose and published as a book. Defining the genre, fictional narrative, literary prose, experience of intimacy, and the length. So those are like the four things that make a modern novel a novel. They do mention like precursors, and Satyricon's one of them. So is Apuleius's Golden Ass, which is another one I was thinking of.
Yeah, that one. The only reason I think that I think it's the Satyrcon's the oldest one that's like that survives in a complete form. But almost all the other ones are almost all incomplete. We don't actually have full text of them. And yeah, I mean, according to the Wikipedia page anyway, which not that means anything, but it does say that it's classical scholars describe it as a Roman novel, without necessarily implying continuity with the modern literary form. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I when they legalized it in Washington State, they assigned licenses by lottery, so you had to put in an application, but you had to have, I think, a certain amount of money for a deposit, or you had to pay for the license or something. So it was an investment. And I considered putting my name in the lottery. And I called some friends back home who were business people and talked to them got their thoughts and how to go about it. And they were very encouraging, but I ended up not doing it. I don't remember why, but I did consider taking a chance at it. So
that's the other reason. Remember, I liked the Satyricon references, that it's a genre of what's called Menippean satire, which is a form of satire.
Yeah, okay, I know Menippean satire for sure.
Yeah, it's characterized by attacking mental attitudes rather than specific individuals or entities.
But he was Greek. Like Satyricon was a later development in that genre, and we don't have the. We have Plutarch, the Roman, the Roman like disciple of, what is his name, Menippus, but we don't actually have any of his works, or very few of his works, or only fragments.
Yeah, we have fragments of a bunch of other. There clearly were other things that you could probably put into like that.
So they use Plutarch, which is actually the roots of our modern comedy. All the sitcoms you see on TV, all the rom-coms you see, that all goes back to Plutarch and Menippus. Yeah. And the old comedy was Aristophanes. That Menippus is the new comedy, and Plutarch, and that's still the like substructure of our modern comedy. Hey, Sean. Welcome. Oh yeah, your audio is really bad today. You must be driving.
Is it better now?
The noise is, the echo's still there. The echo's really bad.
Something wrong with my phone.
Not bad now. But the echo's still there. Before it was all distorted.
Better now?
Yeah, seems to be. No, we still hear us. Maybe make sure. I don't think it's me. It's have anything going.
It's always Sean always comes with echo.
Something wrong with my phone then.
I just don't know.
You don't turn echo cancellation.
You don't have your on at all?
I'll check.
I checked the settings of StreamYard. There should be echo cancellation.
Hey Chuck, good morning.
Hey girls, what's going on?
Not much, just yakking away about.
Did you see that? I read an article where they just uncovered Plato's final words before he died.
No, but let me look it up.
No, I didn't.
It was buried. They found it buried under the ash of Mount Vesuvius. And technology allowed them finally to be able to read what was written down.
Okay, what was it?
Plato's final hours recounted in scroll found in Vesuvius ash. Scroll found.
There you go. That's it.
Ancient text reveals details of Plato's burial place and final evening. Plato's death revealed. Oh wow, this is interesting. Yeah, I didn't know about this.
It was a neat article.
What did he say?
Do
you say fuck this planet? I'm out.
Okay.
Well, no. There's a local slave girl that came and played the flute for him as he was dying. But he managed to write down the poor girl didn't have no rhythm.
An asshole to the end. My kind of guy.
Despite running a high fever, he found that the flute music had a scant sense of rhythm, and was bothered by the music they were playing. Really, I probably would be too if I was trying to die and somebody was playing bad. Who wants to die to bad music? Especially somebody like Plato. Come on, treat the man better than that.
So some girl just dancing around like on a recorder, just going.
Oh Lord!
And he's like dying.
And they're using AI with optical. To help them decode. So that's all the juicy tidbits that I see.
Yeah, because when they first unrolled it, because the pages were kind of melted together, the scroll, they were unable to make anything out. But with this technology, they were able to discern what was written. I thought it was interesting.
Hey, Auntie. Yeah, I hope you are too. Hope
now, you know what's going to happen with this marijuana, don't you?
I'm not sure. What?
Think about it.
I watched it up here in Washington State. It got first decriminalized, then legalized.
They're downgrading it to a medical use product. What does that mean?
Medical marijuana for everybody.
No, that means regulations for medical.
They already have it regulated, but the
not
states
not on the federal level.
Yeah, not on the federal level. But yeah, it's good. It's gonna mean there's being federal.
Well, it's scheduled. It's being scheduled as a form of regulation. So they're not. All they're doing is changing the schedule, but the regulations that come along with each tier of the schedule still apply.
Exactly.
Basically, the future is everybody's gonna be high in the future, happy like Joe Cool, 24/7.
Marijuana is not always a happy experience for everybody, but oh my God, if Joe Cool is the future, I'm more worried now than anything.
That's all anybody's worried about is getting high.
I mean, didn't they try that in the 60s? It lasted a couple of years, and then reality had to hit.
Yeah, they had to grow up.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they have? They just tried that in Washington State, or no? In around the Portland area.
For hard drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I heard that they changed it. I thought they reversed it.
Yeah, they repealed it because there was just junkies in the street everywhere.
Why? Like who could not have told them that? But sometimes some people just on their own. Like I'm one of them. So
well, I mean, like if they had legalized it and regulated it, it wouldn't have been a problem. But they were just like, no, we just won't charge people.
Thank you
for drug possession. Like if they wanted to do it, they could have done it right, just like they did when they originally did that shit in Portugal all the time, all those years back, and it worked really well until they took all the funding for the program.
Have you seen Portland? Have you seen the people that run Portland?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, you're fair.
What's the smart strategy? Getting high, staying high, or the rescheduling thing?
I think Biden needs to get more high to stop like doing all the stupid shit he's doing, or Trump too.
I don't know. I might want Biden high more than I want Trump high. Oh, Sean, your echo is
Yeah, where's the echo from?
It's Sean. We can't figure it out, but he has it every day.
Computer says it's better now.
I don't know. Let's see. Hello. It's still there.
Hello.
1, 2, 3.
Your microphone is picking up us from somewhere.
Too close to the speakers.
Do you have a YouTube tab open, John?
Is it coming out of your car?
No.
Do you have YouTube open? Okay, because if you have YouTube open, that'll do it.
But I guarantee the federal government will do something to mess up the process with this marijuana bill.
You don't know. They might not. They don't mess everything up. Really, they might just like bump it to the states because each state has a different set of laws anyway. All they're doing is rescheduling. That's it. There's no indication of some move beyond this.
Well,
yet.
Each schedule has its own regulations.
Yeah. I'm sure they've rescheduled things before. So they probably have a process for when a drug gets rescheduled.
Well, I could be wrong, but
I don't know. It actually sounds boring to me. It sounds like a job I wouldn't want because it would be so mind-numbingly boring. And it's not raising any flags for me. I think it's a good thing. I think this is going to help marijuana advocacy.
I think it's a bad thing. Nothing wrong with medical.
First step in some secret move to do something to citizens.
Nothing wrong with medical use, in my opinion.
Well, I don't have I live in a state with recreational. I don't have a problem with it. I smoked for years. Marlboro might, something like that. Like the big corporations are going to start getting in on it.
Have you ever tried Chuck?
What's that?
Have you ever tried weed, Chuck?
Yeah, I did. It made me paranoid as hell.
It can, yeah.
And
that's what I said.
It's
not always happy. Like people think it's all high and happy, and it's not always like that.
Yeah, it makes me sick. So it doesn't make me paranoid though.
Well, now the smell of it makes me physically sick.
Yeah, Frank, you did. The DEA is here in the U.S. is rescheduling marijuana from the most severe strict schedule from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3, which is a much
did they?
less, huh?
The article I read didn't have the schedule they were going to.
3. It still has to be approved by the budget office, but 3 is the one they're moving it to. And so I'm wearing these in celebration. The paranoid weed gene. 8% seems low. Maybe they're all hanging out on the streams. All right. Well, now that weed is exhausted, what else?
Well, I gave you Plato, something for you to read later.
That's true. Yeah, we did find out he did not like his music, as he was about.
From a Tibetan white slave girl or something like that.
So his final words were like, "Turn that fucking music off." Okay.
Shut her up.
They were probably playing torture.
Plato's last words: "Turn that fucking music off."
Which is ironic because music was like his highest form of consciousness and analogy for reality. He said everything aspires to the condition of music and that people should study music, astronomy, and mathematics.
I think she was playing Play That Funky Music.
Freak boy.
Freakazoid. There you go.
Yeah, that'd be annoying. That's not gonna be fun.
Annie, are you in the U.S.? You just got potentially the opportunity to be even more productive. I could easily have been. You know, all of this social justice shit and wokeness comes out of Plato too. It traces right straight back to the Republic and Plato's political philosophy.
Really?
Yeah, you have the guardians, the elite that control the masses and the noble lie that they tell people, and the people that are virtuous enough and more in touch with the truth, that have the wisdom and expertise to rule the rest of us. It's social engineering. That's what.
Well, that would be.
No, Steve his schedule changed. He went back to work, or he could be mad. He could be mad at me or any of us, but I'm gonna take him at his word because I think he's a pretty stand-up guy, and he's just his schedule got changed, and now he's busy with work. That's the sane, grounded version of the explanation, and then we offer the conspiracy version for all the conspiracists, which is Steve is secretly mad at me or you, because you did drive him away that one day or irritate him. It's definitely, if I had to pick between Frank, it's you. It's going to be more you than me that he's mad at.
None of the kids want to come back and play. I don't get it.
Yeah, I see. iFi's been on.
I took a shower, so it can't be that.
That's exactly that. Everyone enjoyed your natural musk before.
Ah. The smell of fresh laid chicken shit. Yep.
Please do, Frank, if he even deigns to grant you an audience. Tommy, don't come here.
Oh, hell
yeah,
no.
Neurojack did a good stream last night, and then Pill Eater did a really good one this morning. He played a video about individualism versus collectivism, and he talked about Mises and Nietzsche and their views on individualism and collectivism.
Hank was crying.
This is good stuff. This is good stuff. I'm glad these people are watching it. And then iFi has some commentary.
Hank said he's never going back to Neurojacks.
Oh, what happened?
Because Neurojack don't keep his videos up.
Oh, I thought it was the dating advice.
No, it's because he don't keep his videos up.
Okay. I think there's something between those two.
Well, hell, there's something between Hank and everybody.
So Hank only goes on shows that archive him?
I think that way he can go back and rewatch his performance.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, he has that right.
You know, a little bit of that narcissistic behavior.
Well, it's aut means like AUT, the prefix means self in Greek. So people get thrown off by that sometimes. Okay, let's see. This is some folk wisdom from Auntie. All right, Sean, I think you're still echoing. Not as bad, but it's still there.
But that's just a spiritual technology. Because I'm a woke ass man.
Well, I hate what it does to my voice. It makes me want to turn the stream off. Can you get it to fix my voice?
It turns you to AI.
I need a manly deer voice that goes with the antlers.
Turned it on and off.
Oh, wait a minute. Bambi's female. Never mind. I had a thought.
Oh.
I turned the mic off. Does that work?
Testing. It's not as bad. It's much better.
Hello, 1, 2, 3. Technology. I'm putting my mouth on the mic. See the mic?
Let's see.
And the mouth. Hello.
Oh, you hold them. It's a what is it? Like on a cord? You talk into it?
Yeah.
So it must where is your sound coming out of? Your speaker?
I'm in a car.
So it's picking it up ambiently from your car speaker.
Or maybe I turn off the charger.
If you turn your car speaker down a bit, it might lessen the echo, but then you might not be able to hear us. Ooh, Lord. That sounds a demon. Are you still there? This is creepy. Chris, this is your movie right here.
Yeah.
And then he comes back all bloody, shredded. Frank, are they touching it with a paddle? That's what I know people to touch, people like you's butt with. Yeah, or at least some headset, like just even a headset, so he wouldn't have to listen through the car speakers.
It's better now. I took the headset off.
Hello, test. No, it's still there.
Well, it's my phone's fault.
Oh.
Right. Well, I'll go. Okay, I'll see you.
Okay, you've been on before.
You don't have it's okay. We're not like trying to
I
make
think
it
it's just when you're in your car. Like when you're on your phone, but there's been other times you've been on and it didn't echo.
All right, I'll try and go outside.
I admire hang on, I'm gonna mute you, Sean. The dedication of to get on the stream. Look at all what he's going through just to hang out with us on this stream. I've got to admire that.
See nature.
Oh wow, that's Ireland. What part of Ireland are you?
That's West Cork.
Is that mountains in the distance?
No, that's the ocean.
Wait, what?
No, I live next to sea, man. I'm a rich twat.
Wow, this is so fucking cool. We're seeing Ireland.
I'd always want to go to Ireland.
It's like, is that an oak? That looks like Louisiana.
That's walnut. Walnut.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's the ocean?
Yeah.
What's way in the distance? Is that mountains?
Hills. Farmland.
Oh, okay.
And my chickens.
Wow.
Now you know where I am, so you better not fucking come get me.
Oh, you don't. I'm not. I've never left the United States, and I don't think I ever will. You're safe. In fact, I don't know. Do we have other people in Ireland? You might be the only one in Ireland. So.
Yeah.
Well, he's certainly creating disorder with his microphone. But I don't mind. I got to see Ireland. That was really cool. That was one of my highlights. Yeah, I don't either. I don't like the ocean. I don't like water that I can't see in. Like it has to be like a swimming pool, a lazy river, a spa, a hot tub. I don't like lake water. Or like growing up, we used to swim in that stuff, but I don't like it as an adult. And like when you're canoeing and the canoe flips, I panic. I'm like floundering to hurry up and get back on top of that canoe. But I love camping on the beach, but I don't necessarily love being in the water. And I'm the same way. I don't like boats and waves and stuff like that. I think I'd like whitewater rafting, but not open ocean. I don't hate it. It just doesn't. I'm neutral on it. It doesn't do anything for me. Like I don't know if I'd ever enjoy a cruise. My friend said it just feels like being trapped in a hotel for 2 weeks that you can't leave. And I feel like I'd feel like claustrophobic on it.
I heard retired people, I heard it's cheaper to go on a cruise than in a nursing home or something.
Oh, and they take care of you?
Yeah, like nursing home cruise ships
We
or
should
something.
have
They should do that.
that's something to build up to. We can do a stream like a Panelverse retirement cruise ship. We could all retire on a cruise ship together if we don't all hate each other by then, and like live out our days. What a time that would be.
It would be like a commune on a cruise ship.
Yeah, I always had like growing up. I had the rocking chair club, and I was gonna have a house with a big porch and a bunch of rocking chairs. And throughout my life, I picked the people that I wanted with me at the end, and they were gonna have a rocking chair on that porch. So I would always tell my friends, like, "You're one of my rocking chair friends. There's a rocking chair on the porch for you when we get old and we retire." And so I want that too. It has to have my rocking chairs for all my friends. The Love Boat without the love, and without the, what is her name? Julie McCrews? Julie McCoy. I never watched it was on, but it never. Grown-ups trying to find love on a boat never held any fascination for me as a kid.
It's kind of like a Fantasy Island. I never really got into that.
Right, because this is what Fantasy Island did to me. I love the show because sometimes they do really spooky, exciting, supernatural type mystery stuff, and those were good. But every time I tuned in, I thought it was gonna be one of those, and half the time, probably more than half the time, it was just boring adult white people drama. And so I always felt like you'd have to invest 20 or 30 minutes to see what type of show it is. And if it wasn't one of the like mystery type ones, it was always a letdown. So my Fantasy Island viewing was very spotty. Ooh, I would love a nightmare cruise ship. Oh, well, maybe not that particular. I thought you meant like a good Halloween cruise. A gothic cruise.
Do you hear about the huge cruise ship there?
One.
Oh, jeez. Echo. Fucking hell.
Is it in the news?
I even heard that myself.
Oh.
It's like the biggest boat ever.
No, I didn't. I don't know about the cruise ship. I've never been on one.
No, it's like the biggest cruise ship ever, and it's like loads of slides and stuff like that.
Oh, what country's making that one?
It's the company Liberty of the Seas.
Oh, it's okay. I thought I saw where like Saudi Arabia or one of the Middle East countries was trying to make this giant cruise ship. But that could be my internet brain confusing thing. Is he ruining the show for you? It is pretty bad, the echo. We're gonna have to get you some headphones somehow. Is there anyone out there in Ireland that can get a pair of headphones for Sean?
Can you hear me now? I have no headphones.
Oh, you have headphones now? Nope,
no, I don't.
Oh.
I'll stick them in now. See what happens. Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Can you hear us? I think the echo's gone.
Is the echo gone?
It's not gone, but it's very muted. So actually, it's the best it's been so far, but it's still there.
All right. I'll see you guys. All right, bye.
All right. Sorry, Sean. Yeah, technology. But still, that's pretty cool that he was even able to get on with us the little time he did and show us that. It looked like rural Ireland or somewhere somewhat remote. To marathon the last part of of US part 1. What Oh, The Last of Us. Is that a show? Part 1?
Oh no, he's done with the game.
Oh, okay. It's a game called The Last of Us.
The Last of Us, yeah, it's pretty.
You're going to stream a video game. Okay, so if you're into video games, go watch Frank, or go like and subscribe and support his channel. Here, I'll put it in the.
You know, I wanted to. I never got through the second one. Just because I don't know, like the Last of Us games, like they have like the combat in them isn't that great, and then like it's like the puzzles in them are too simple to be able to fun. There's not much exploration to do. It's like it's mostly story, and the story in the first Last of Us game is probably the story of the first Last of Us game is probably the best told like cinematic style video game story ever told. Like it's really emotionally effective. It really hits you in the gut, you know, and the story is great. But the game part of it, I just feel like it was more made to be a movie or a TV show than it was. Even though I didn't think the TV show adaptation was perfect, but I thought it belonged in that format more than it belonged in the game format. So the game format seemed like a really good movie interrupted by these really kind of so gaming sequences, you know. I don't know. It's okay. I mean, like it's not like a bad game or anything. It's just like I just feel like dude that made whatever the guy's name that made Last of Us, and like he worked on a couple of the Uncharted games, like Uncharted 4 and stuff like that. I feel like that guy is like really. He clearly has Neil Druckmann, right? He's clearly got a filmmaker's brain, and I just don't think it necessarily translates to gaming that well. Whenever I was growing up, you know. That was like all everybody talked about was like, man, video games are gonna be like movies someday. They're gonna be just as cool as movies. And we all thought that seemed like really cool, you know. Like we all thought that, and then they started getting. Now we've got the point where games really are very similar to movies. And now I see that like movies and video games are very different things. I would actually rather play something that's actually really cartoonish and cheesy and very video gamey than I would play something that's like cinematic, you know, like something.
One of my favorite video games is King's Quest, that little cartoon game.
I remember that.
That was so fun and immersive. I can't imagine there's anything but a fun little video game.
I like Oregon Trail.
Quest and Space Quest, dude. I played King's Quest and Space Quest constantly as a kid. I had King's Quest 2 and I had Space Quest 1 through 3. And I used to play those like I would play them for just hours, even though I'd already played them, beaten them like a few times. I would go back and play them because you always type in different things and see what happens. You know, you always type in random things at different places and see if you get different responses. And most of the time you didn't, but every now and then you get some little weird thing would happen.
Oregon Trail was the bomb.
Oh, I remember that one too. Damn,
I never enjoyed that game, but it's funny as a meme, kind of, you know.
I remember Zork. Was it Zork?
Oh yeah, Zork. Yeah, Zork. I played Zork some. Like,
we never got past the first few rooms. Like, we never could figure out what to do.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's really difficult to do with just text and like trying to like and you don't know all the commands and everything. Like I never had a manual for it either. It was just like a shareware thing. So like I was always like trying to just trying random combinations of words and seeing what would trigger something, and it never seemed to do anything. So yeah, The Last of Us has a sad-ish story, not like a sad story, but a sad-ish story. It definitely has a very I know it has an ending that you can't forget. The part two is kind of just, I don't know, I didn't mind part 2 until the part where you play as the villain, kind of, and like I understand what they're going for. They're trying to make the villain like relatable, or they're trying to put you in her shoes, and so you get to see empathize with the villain the same way you do with like the main character.
Does it work?
It doesn't. No, not for me. It did not work for me at all. Like I guess they don't give her any real redeeming qualities. Like, so they don't make her they don't really redeem her in any way. She's a kind of an unrepentant asshole, and so they put you in an unrepentant asshole, and you have to play as her, and it just lost me at that point. I just didn't really care. So, I mean, I've seen videos online of people play. I've seen what the ending is now. I didn't care to play the rest of the game, so I watched the ending stuff online, stuff like that, and like honestly, the ending of it's just as bad. It seems like I really respect and I admire the ambition in this, what they're going through the story in Last of Us Part 2. I think that it was an ambitious attempt at making like a really like a complex, nuanced story, and it just didn't work, you know. And like I respect ambitious failures, I always do, but it doesn't mean it doesn't mean I enjoy them, you know. So
they're working on number 3.
I don't know where they're gonna go. I mean, it's gonna have to be different characters, so. I mean, like, you know, because like the big thing that really upset everybody, which I'm not gonna spoil, but everyone, if anyone's played the game, knows.
Don't spoil it.
The game starts out with something that happens that really upset a lot of people. That particular thing, like, I get it from a storytelling perspective. I really see how like it makes sense in the sense of like, like the actions of consequences and stuff like that, and so like I respect, but it still just it didn't do anything to like make it feel like the character was the characters that carry out these actions have the slightest bit of reason to have any kind of sympathy for them. Like when you can empathize with Joel and the ending of the first game, you can empathize because of the situation that it is, right? You can empathize with him even if you could see that he's wrong in one part, and on one side you still empathize with him. You cannot empathize with what happens with the characters in Last of Us Part 2. You can't empathize with them because it's just like it feels soul draining in a way that's not doesn't make me think. It feels soul draining in a way that just makes me just want to go to sleep. You know,
I cried. That's okay, Chris. I cried.
I like on the first one. Yeah, like
Second one.
Oh, the second one.
Was it the second one?
With Joel?
When he meet, yeah.
That part upset me too. Like it did upset me quite a bit. I cried in the first one. Like, and then some of the scene, the first 10 minutes of the first game make me cry. Like scene when like with what happens with in the TV series, that scene that's one of the weirdest things. Like that scene in the game absolutely devastated me, and I watched it in the and every time, and I had to restart the game like 3 times. So I actually had to put the first time I tried it, I put the game down after that scene. I was like, I can't handle this. Like, you know, my kid was born and stuff like that. And I was just like, I was just like, no, I can't deal with this. And I tried again a few months later, and I got a little further, but I fell away from it. So I had to start it a third time. Every time that scene made me cry. When the TV series came out and that scene happened, I felt nothing. So I don't know what it is that the series did that made it. It just felt 10 times more. I think the way it was presented in the game was just so much more effective. I just don't think it was very effective in the TV series. I mean, and maybe they did that on purpose because maybe they didn't want to depress the audience so much in the first 10 minutes of their show that like everyone just like turns it off. Which kind of makes sense, you know. I mean, because seriously, like it.
Well, it's one of them theories. You either love it or you hate it.
I like the series. I liked the series. I just didn't. I didn't think for a show based on a game that I always felt that like when I played it, I was like, this would have been better as a movie or as a TV. And honestly, it would be better as a movie. I don't think
I think so.
Would be necessary.
A movie.
I think a movie would have been just fine. I think 7 episodes was too long. They ended up stretch. Somehow they managed to both stretch things out, and it felt truncated at the same time. You know, it felt like it went through things too quickly, and also felt like it was stretched. And certain like the second episode feels like a complete waste of time. There's so much they could get through in a single episode. But at the same time, I liked the series. I liked it. I thought it was a very well done adaptation of a video game for once.
The game is like the movie I Am Legend. Was that the name of it?
Yeah.
With that black dude.
Will Smith.
Yeah, Will Smith.
Yeah, what about that?
Well, it's kind of equivalent to The Last of Us to me.
The adaptation, you mean on an adaptation level, or just like as like it's like the movie? It's about the same kind of themes type thing.
Yeah, the thing.
Yeah, have you seen the original ending for that? It's actually, I think it's online. You can see the original ending they shot for I Am Legend is so much better than the one they actually went with.
Yeah, I was disappointed with the ending that they played.
Yeah, the original ending where which is how the novel ends and how all the other previous, because that book has been adapted many times. As a Mega Man, I think I Am Legend is the original title. Of the novel, but like it was also a Mega Man with Charlton Heston. It was also, and there was an adaptation with called The Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price back in like the 30s or 40s, something like that too. And all of those all had that original ending, and the ending is so powerful. Like why would you change it to what they did? Just like grenade.
Yeah.
The ending, it's like the whole point of the movie, the whole point of the story is in that original ending, and they changed it for no reason. Like it's really weird, and like I've never heard anyone say that they thought the ending they used was better. It's a far inferior ending.
Supposedly, the second movie they start with the original ending of the first movie.
Oh, they're doing a sequel?
Yeah. I don't know how they're going to pull it off.
That's insane. I didn't know they're doing a sequel to it.
He's the main. He's the main character.
And Will Smith is back. That's funny as fuck. Yeah, even the studio was like, yeah, that original ending would have been way better for sequels. What are we thinking?
Well, they don't always get it right.
There's only a handful of like a few thousand people that get to approve and look at these things before they actually get before cameras. You got to expect a few thousand points of failure somewhere, right?
Have you guys ever went and watched a movie? And you go watch the movie and it's got a title. Then later on, when they re-release it, it's got a whole different title. But it's the same movie.
What movie?
The one I'm talking about, one I know for sure is Bill Murray, Larger Than Life, the one with the elephant.
Yeah, that's a different title now?
Originally, it was called Double Nickel. Double Nickels. Yeah.
I don't know that one at all.
You saw it under that title?
Yeah. Well,
weird.
I think we were in a test market because that's where they shot the movie.
Okay, well that makes sense. No, I have gone to test screenings of films that where the title and everything, a whole bunch of things changed whenever the film actually came out. So I have
on the reaction
seen that happen. I'm aware of a few, like they do like some sneaky like little things with like DVD covers and stuff like that to make it to kind of make it look different than it really was. Like I know like the female Ghostbusters reboot, like they, even though it's not that it was theatrically released as just Ghostbusters, but then on the DVD cover it says Ghostbusters Answer the Call. But like but it's not like the official title of it or anything. It's just they just added that to the what? Okay. And then there's a movie with Tom Cruise where he keeps dying over and over again, like keeps restarting, every time he dies.
That was the day The Edge of Tomorrow.
Name. What's that?
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow, yeah. It always, that's right, because it always reminds me of the fucking like the Saved by the Bell college years theme. It's the Saved by the Bell college years. Like standing on the edge of tomorrow.
That was a hard movie to watch, though.
But on the DVD cover, it doesn't say Edge of Tomorrow on it though. The DVD, like on the spine of the DVD, it says live, die, repeat is what it says. Now, I do like it. I actually like that movie a lot. And they didn't change the name to live, die, repeat, but the spine of the spine, it says Edge of Tomorrow on the front cover. Underneath that says live, die, repeat. But then on the spine, it just says live, die, repeat. So it's like, it's very strange. Yeah. It's like they're trying to like
high level geek stuff.
That's some what?
That's some high level geek stuff.
Yep. Geek by nature. Sorry.
Would you expect anything less than?
No.
I mean, we are the island. We are the island of misfits. Come on now.
That is true.
Or actually,
I don't like Tom Cruise as a person, Jack Slaw, but I do. Think
I don't like him as an actor, but I love the movies that he's in. Some of the best movies out there. He's just Tom Cruise in those movies.
I think he's very good in those movies. I just don't like him.
He's okay. I liked him in Tropic Thunder probably more than any other movie, and I didn't even realize that was him till the end, and the credits started rolling. I'm like,
he's a wackadoodle, Chris.
What's that?
I said he's a wackadoodle.
Oh no, he's insane, dude. He's like, I mean, like he creeps me out.
Hello, where do you all hang out? Like he's nowhere.
Oprah. I hang out with Oprah.
No, there was a video of him walking out of like one of the Scientology like whatever their programming centers are, you know,
fan drama.
What do they call them? And he walks out of this clinic that someone was watching, it was filmed on his phone. This was a while back, and someone's filming on his phone, and like he walks out looking like a zombie, like he doesn't know where he is. He walks out and he stumbles into a little girl that's standing there that was like walking with her mother. He just like walks into her, and then instead of like reacting like a person would, like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you or something like that, he just like stands there and stares at her like.
That's the big horrible thing about Tom Cruise. What do you think it means?
I don't know. It's just creepy. If you see the video, I find the video.
Y'all creep by everything. I mean, y'all like honestly, y'all find y'all internet brains.
It's honestly creepy. He walks into a little girl. He knocks her down. Instead of like saying anything, saying a word, he just stands there and stares like a robot, just like.
And did that color the way you see Tom Cruise from that point forward?
Well, no, I mean, there's plenty of other things where I said Tom Cruise. I mean, like his the videos he did for promoting Scientology, the Oprah appearance, stuff like that. Like his overall personality as like in interviews and everything is just very like, it's so like he's so like obviously like.
What do you think about Gary Busey?
He's a national treasure.
Ain't that the dude that had the head injury? Is he the one that had the head injury?
Who knows? He seems.
I don't know. I mean, you would think so. It certainly seems like he's had a head injury.
Seems like he's had every injury out there.
No, I'm being for real. He was in an accident or something, suffered a major head injury.
Probably.
It's possible.
We could look it up.
He took too much LSD, one or the other.
I'm with Busey. Yes, I was just about to say that, Frank. Like, yes, that's like one of the only weirdo reality shows I ever watched any episodes of.
A motorcycle accident in 1988.
I'm with Busey was.
There we go. I knew it was
an insane thing to watch. It was like a reality show where the whole show was on acid. It was so weird.
He was on The Apprentice too, one season with Trump.
Like, you know, most of the time reality shows go out of their way to like they'll play up certain aspects of somebody's personality or something to make them seem quirky or funny or something like that. But I'm with Busey, they didn't do anything to humanize him at all. They made him seem like a space alien. It was just like it's like the whole show was it's something else, man. I actually maybe I'll see if I can look. I'll see if I can find that and download it. It's worth watching just worth watching an episode of. Just it's so weird for a reality show. Like, I mean, we're talking about a show that's like basically it's the same network that did the Keeping Up with the Kardashians and shit. It was an E-network show, and the show was just like I don't know. It was clearly done, I guess, in like I don't know if they asked him to play up his like weirdness or something like that, but like it's just the show is just not. It's not right. Anyway. Oh, Michael, you're talking about the Frighteners. You remember the Frighteners?
I remember that movie.
Yeah, the Frighteners.
The ghost about the ghosts.
Yeah, it's Peter Jackson.
I think I saw it.
Lord of the Rings guy. Lord of the Rings guy directed that.
He did that sounds so familiar. I feel like I saw it at the movie theater.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's probably one of the last movies I saw. That's about the time I stopped going to movies. I didn't know it was Peter Jackson.
Yeah, Peter Jackson directed that movie.
Because he did Heavenly Creatures too. That's who I knew from before he.
Oh
did
yeah, Peddling Creatures is a great movie. That's great. I like all of Peter Jackson's early work. I like his that's kind of what he got his flat stick films, as he called them. Where there was one that was like Dead Alive. It was called the Dead Alive, something like that. That one is really a really funny kind of horror comedy thing. It's like really gross out at times, but at the same time. Thank you, Bex.
Peaceful Warrior with Nick Nolte.
What's that one?
Peaceful Warrior.
Peaceful Warrior
with Nick Nolte.
I've never seen that. I've never heard that before. No.
Damn good movie. It's a spiritual movie.
Okay, I'll look into it. I'm not and yes, Peter Jackson, director of Lord of the Rings. Yes. Peter Jackson, in his early before he suddenly did Lord of the Rings and became like one of the biggest blockbuster directors of all time, he was very much a small indie Australian indie or New Zealander indie director that made a bunch of like weird little like horror comedies. He made a movie called Meet the Feebles that is literally like, it's like Sesame Street, but every one of the Sesame Street puppets are real and they're all really perverted. One of the characters is a rabbit that has so many STDs that he has parts falling off of him. It's actually not terribly great, but it's kind of like, it's a midnight movie for real. It's the kind of movie you watch when you're really, really stoned, kind of thing. If you're really stoned, it's really funny, but it's probably without that. I don't know if anybody will enjoy it that much, but
if Chris put a few stitches in his arm, he'd look like Sylvester Stallone in Rambo.
It's the headband.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's the headband.
And the tank top. If it was a green tank top with some stitches in the arm, oh yeah, I could see it.
The Hobbit
cartoon.
Oh my God, that's the best cartoon ever.
Your panel of friends, we say nice things to each other. There's nothing wrong with that. Like it doesn't mean that you're.
No. That was a compliment. That was a compliment.
Yeah,
that wasn't.
I compliment people on the stream all the time. It doesn't mean that I'm rizzing on them. Okay, so let's not get carried away here.
That was a good show last night, Jeff.
What happened?
I'm sorry I missed it. I came back in. It was just like the night before. I came in from doing the work on the car and I passed straight out. I saw this.
All the streams blur together. I'm trying to remember.
Did you get it fixed?
No, I broke my 10mm socket bit.
Damn.
Yeah, there was a really stubborn bolt that it was just for a ground wire too. It was so annoying, and wow. And it just snapped. It just like really cracked. I thought they were good quality bolts, but sockets, but I guess they weren't. And so I found one on Amazon for like $2.50 that. I had $2.50 in my account, so it'll be here like hopefully in the next couple hours, so I can finish the job. So.
Well, you missed a good one last night, Chris. Jeff took all of his clothes off on stream.
Oh damn! I really missed it.
I missed it too.
It must have been your AI counterpart.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Are you
remember Dennison and Daniel? You were screaming at them because they were down there trying to say you wasn't.
Well, they were trolling, but I don't know. Yeah, taking my clothes off part.
No, I'm just messing with you.
Oh, that's what I was trying to figure out because
sorry,
there have been streams.
Yeah, I thought it was obvious he was messing with us.
I'm sorry.
If I had a pirate hat, Frank, I don't have a pirate hat. Send me a pirate hat and I'll wear it. I don't have one. Auntie Dearest, it sounds like, I think the Violet Bunnies thing you're thinking of, it sounds like you're talking about Happy Tree Friends.
Philip's saying the Holy Grail.
Well, Yeah, I mean, I guess yeah, the killer bunny rabbit thing in Holy Grail is funny, but she's saying a cartoon about violent bunnies, and like I think that's Happy Tree Friends.
Was it Watership Down?
No, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure like it's maybe not. You're saying the '80s though, so that's not that was an internet cartoon from the 2000s.
They used to play it on TV.
I guess maybe Watership Down then. Watership Down is very disturbing.
Do you see
and
Florida
then Netflix
lost?
remade it into a series, which is really good. It's a political allegory.
Yeah, but for a kid, it's very disturbing.
I liked it. I thought it had everything. It had a little bit of everything. I would watch it every year, and then it even made me want to read the book.
A lot of kids got
the book when I got older, and I read the book.
No, I liked it too, but like a lot of kids I knew were disturbed by it whenever I was growing up. Like,
well, I don't care what other kids feel like. I didn't care about how other kids felt about it.
I was saying that a lot of kids were just traumatized by it. I like whenever I was a kid, I remember I watched Arachnophobia with at my grandmother's house, and I had and it was like one of my friends was sleeping over, something like that, and he was traumatized by Arachnophobia for years after that, and I just thought the movie was funny. I never thought anything was scary in it. I've never really been scared by a movie. The most on the edge of my seat scared-ish I've ever been for a movie was watching maybe The Descent, and that wasn't because of any of the traditional horror elements. The idea of being trapped in a cave is actually gives me anxiety. That's actually something so it gave me anxiety because the idea of being trapped, going cave diving and having a cave in type thing, and your only choice is to try to forge forward into the cave to try to find a way out. That's a very, very, very frightening concept to me. Once it turns into an action movie, it's a totally different. It wasn't scary at all. But the first 30 minutes of that movie, man, it really got me.
Do you see where Florida lost half their workforce?
Half their workforce?
Yeah, Florida just passed a law against illegal aliens working.
Well, I thought the whole nation had a law against that. I thought it was already illegal.
I think it must be a stricter law or something. And they're talking about having to pass a law to allow teenagers to work longer hours to make up for the shortage.
Good. That's what these snowflakes need. Good. I hope it passes.
Yeah, fuck them kids.
No, it's fuck the snowflakes. Whatever that is.
I'm still looking for it in the news. I'm not seeing it.
I just read it this morning. You mean it's not top story?
No.
Well, maybe something that's been proposed but not passed too. You know what I mean? A lot of times the news reports things that have just been proposed as though they're actually already happened, and then you find out, oh, it's just going through. It's just been proposed, and then nothing ever comes of it. So
I see something about a year ago. He did a crackdown on employers who were hiring undocumented workers, and they did a report recently, a year later, to assess it. But I'm not seeing a new law that they just passed.
I'm looking now.
But they did say it inflicted huge damage. So apparently they need these undocumented workers. That's why we have the situation we have. People are benefiting from this. And when you crack down on it, their business suffers. So nobody wants that. So it's in the business people's best interest to keep this flow of labor going.
Don't tell me it fed me an old news story.
It could be. I sometimes try to remember.
It happens to me a lot, Chuck. There's a lot of times I look through my news feed and I see something that I haven't seen before, and then whenever I click on it, I see the.
I go to Google News or a site that I know are going to have current headlines, and I start there. And I use Twitter too. They're usually used to posting current stuff. The Lobster? No, I haven't seen The Lobster.
Oh yeah, The Lobster's really good. I love that movie. Yeah, Colin Farrell. It's got Rachel Weisz. It's the same guy that made that recent movie Poor Things. Yorgos Lanthimos. He also made a few other movies like Killing of a Sacred Deer, Dogtooth, The Favorite. The Favorite's really good. Yeah, and it's a really weird but really cool movie. I think it's got a lot of really interesting like things to say about relationships and like the way that we treat people that are, the way we kind of like mandate it in certain ways, and like it's interesting.
Yeah, pretty much, Frank.
And that's very true. That what King Philip said, like, yeah, that's something that's always bothered me about the whole immigration like thing, is that there's all these people that are like these are jobs that Americans don't even want to do. Well, the reason Americans don't want to do those jobs is because the people paying them aren't even paying them a minimum wage. They're paying illegal actors because of the fact they can get away because they're not on the books. They have to keep them on the books, so they pay them sometimes like $1.50 an hour. And like these people are basically being forced into slavery, and like nobody's to care about that. Like that is not like okay.
It's not slavery to them. Have you talked to them? You're seeing it from your perspective. They're making bank. They love that nobody else wants to do these jobs, that they can come in and supply this. In Louisiana, after the hurricanes, nobody can find construction companies to do the repair. And then the Mexicans come in from Texas, and they get like everybody wants the Mexican people. Nobody even wants the local companies anymore because they're so good. They outperform everybody. There's a huge Mexican population growing up in my city now from all the workers that are coming in because of the construction demand for their skill. They are not seeing it as slavery, I guarantee.
I was watching a court show the other day, and this illegal immigrant was up in front of this judge, and the judge wanted to know if he needed a court-appointed attorney or not. And they hauled around, and finally the judge says, well, how much money do you make a month? The kid made $12,000 a month.
Doing what?
And that's what the judge says. What do you do? He said, I drive a truck in Texas.
Huh.
That
Only
must
truck
be all he
driving
does,
pays
though.
$12,000 a month in Texas is if you're human trafficking, I think. So like that seems pretty suspect.
Yeah, but I thought we already had laws on the books for all this stuff. It seems like they're just not being enforced.
It's not a crisis.
Right. It's
I agree with that.
Existing laws, and there's a reason for that.
I agree. Like that, we need to enforce the existing laws. I completely agree with that. Like,
we don't need no new laws.
But the fact of the matter is, like there's like laws that are like or precedents that are set into place where like they're encouraged to not actually enforce those laws. So in a lot of cases, like, and it's
right.
Weird.
Why have the laws if nobody's going to enforce? If you need all this immigrant labor, just change the laws to make it legal to have that much labor come in.
Because Americans have gotten lazy.
I mean, I think it should be a lot easier to get a temporary visa type thing to come to the country to work. I think that should be an easy process. If you have promise of work on the side, and it can be like it can be legal and everything else like that, then you should be able to very easily just be able to get like a quick it should be as easy as getting your driver's license permit, right? Which isn't really easy, but it's still like a hell of a lot easier. What's that?
I said if you're illegal, it's easy to get a driver's license now in a lot of states.
I don't see how. Like when I got mine, I needed all kind of official documentation.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, in a lot of cases, like I said, I worked with an illegal woman that used to get pulled over all the time because she wouldn't stop speeding, and they never gave her tickets because she didn't have a license and she had no papers. Like it was more trouble for them to call like immigration or anything than or they get in trouble calling immigration or whatever the situation was. The cops just let her go every time. She never got a ticket. She never got anything. Nothing happened to her. And she used to brag about it. I mean, it wouldn't have bothered me that much if she didn't brag about it. But she used to brag about it. She's like, "Yeah, I got pulled over again. They don't do anything to me."
Well,
that's just an anecdote. I'm suspicious of it. If they push the issue, how much she would get away with it.
Yeah,
Massachusetts passed a law that when they go before a judge for any offense, the judge is not allowed to ask them if they're illegal or not. And if they are, they're not allowed to report them.
How can you make a law about that? How can you make that a law? I don't even understand how do you.
Basically, it's don't ask, don't tell.
I guess basically, yeah, we did that once before.
If you don't tell me you're an illegal,
like not allowed to ask.
I know, that's crazy.
Don't tell you, right? Same way. It worked there. I don't know. That's just crazy. I don't know. Whatever. I know. I do think that we should like that the immigration laws. It should be easier for people that want to come here and work and do jobs. But I do think that the people that hire those jobs also should have to pay minimum wages and everything just like every other company does. I think it's fucked up that they get away.
I don't think it looks like to me it's not in anyone's best interest to change the system. Let's rock the boat. It's working for everybody. So the political will to change it is not there.
The law. They are breaking the law by
but nobody cares because it's working for enough people. The political will is not there. So what do? It's working for too many people. There's too many interest groups that it's working for. Why would you create a system that's going to make it work worse for you?
Well, but you were just saying the same thing as me, is that like the laws are already on the books, they're not being enforced. So why have the laws then? So why not just get rid of those laws and just like get rid of
that's what I learned. Like, why put up the charade? Just get rid of the laws, make it all legal, and have your labor.
So make it legal to not pay minimum wage if the person's in the country illegally.
Whatever the current like unofficial system is, however it's working, just legalize that. It seems to be the better solution for everybody than our current laws. If they're not working and people are doing their own thing anyway, just look at what they're currently doing and why, and build something that supports that.
I mean, the fact of the matter is that the reason I honestly think that it seems like the people that benefit the most from the immigration system being as fucked up as it is are those kinds of corporations and stuff that hire tons of illegals and can pay them like pennies on the dollar, just the same way they can outsource to China or to India or something like that for that same kind of thing. It's like the same kind of mentality that you get with the outsourcing type thing.
That sounds normal for a business. That sounds normal. Of course, a business is going to find that attractive and want to do that. Hey, Dom. And if the system is like, if they enforce the law and that prevents them from doing this, and that's all it takes, but because they're not enforcing the law, they get to continue to do this. And if no one's going to stop them, then just why pretend to have the laws? Just change the fucking laws to be whatever they're going to do anyway. If you're not going to enforce it, if you're so intimidated or whatever the reason you're not enforcing it, then why have them?
I mean, why not enforce them though?
Because too many people are benefiting. There's too many, like you said, corporations that are benefiting. There's not enough political will to go against the people that are benefiting from it. Apparently, I'm just guessing from the little surface knowledge that I have of it. It seems like people are comfortable, just like the prison system in Louisiana. It works. People are comfortable with it. Nobody's incentivized to rock the boat. It's reached perfect equilibrium. So an outside force is going to have to come in and interfere with it to get a different outcome, and that's not happening. So if there's no outside force that's going to come to alter the equilibrium, and that equilibrium's been maintained for as long as it has, then just let that continue and build the laws around that. It seems to be a stable system that works. Hey, Mick, we'll try this. Hey. That was a little. I'm suspicious. That was awfully nice and polite. I'm already suspicious. What's up?
Just chilling. What you
Just chilling, talking about immigration.
I don't know. Hello, can you still hear me?
Yes. Can you hear us?
How far up are you in the Church of Satan?
I'm not in the Church of Satan. We've been through this, dude. I'm not in the Church of Satan. So I'm as
Was
not
that Hank? That was Hank.
Hank's. I don't think Hank's Church of Satan.
Hank's in the Unitarium or whatever it's called.
The Discordian.
Whatever it's called.
We were talking about immigration before. So if Dom has any thoughts, or you.
If you're going to talk about immigration, like states are probably like Canada, there's a big underground market. So a lot of industries fuel off of, I'll call it for what it is, cash work.
Well, there's really nothing wrong with it.
Whether it's right or wrong.
Either enforce the law or change the law. But this like gray area with all these double messages of it's illegal, but everybody's using it anyway, et cetera,
Okay,
et cetera.
so you know about moral relativism, right?
Yeah.
So being a politician doesn't give you a divine right to make any law. Law is just a piece of paper. And the truth, we have objective morality.
Okay, well, here in the U.S., being a secular nation, we do it through Congress and the legislative process. So if God has some opinion on how we should do immigration, he could come down here and tell us the law. But until that happens,
What I'm saying is it's not an issue. It's not just because it depends on if it's trespass, if they actually own the land. We don't. Okay, like the government is illegitimate, so they don't actually own anything.
No, it's not. It's not illegitimate. It's illegitimate to you, but not to most Americans. There's enough of it
what is
that it's not
legitimate about it?
to do to make it legitimate.
What's legitimate about it?
All of it, that it exists.
Okay, so if you're a politician, what gives you a divine right of kings?
Frank is getting close. It really is. I would stick around maybe a few more seconds.
What I'm saying is that I don't know if you're aware of this, but politics is an illusion.
I don't believe
it.
I know it is a real thing. So,
well, of course it's a real thing, but
I'm talking about. Are you in politics? It might be illusion for somebody not actually even in politics.
Well, I'm saying that. Okay, think about what moral relative is. It is moral relative, like jurisdictions. So, what is a jurisdiction? So, I can go to California. I can't conceal and carry, but I live in North Carolina. I can conceal and carry. So that's moral relativism.
You can get thrown in jail in some states for smoking a joint, and you can go buy it at the store in other states.
Right, and so the laws don't mean anything.
No, they do. They do mean something.
So I would answer your question. What gives politicians the divine right to make laws is representation. It's representation. In fact, you can actually submit your own laws. So with communication,
that doesn't give them a divine right. You're talking
it's
about.
Not based on divine right. It comes from the people. We the people.
The Constitution.
They don't represent me. I don't know them. How can?
Well, that's your problem.
Don't meet them.
Find different people. That's your problem.
No, that's not the solution.
You're the representative
the
democracy
problem is,
that you're part of.
Look, I'm a man. I don't have the right to make up rules for other people. I just don't. I never will, and I never have.
For society to exist, you must.
No, that's not true. And I can debunk that in like 10 seconds. The grocery store. The grocery store.
Okay, but MCNemesis, I'm going to tell you right now, this is not the conversation I want to have. We were having a completely different conversation before you showed up, and I want to get back on that. So don't come and change the tone too much with this. This is not the direction we were going in.
Are you trying to censor me?
You could call it that. I'm trying to get the conversation back on how I want it on my stream instead of having you.
Well, you were the one that opened the panel.
If
I
you
told
want
you
to
so. He has the
participate
right
in
to
the conversation
If you
we
want to
were
talk
having
to me,
before,
then I'm going to talk about real shit, not your fake ball sport.
I don't want to
bullshit.
talk about the stuff you want to talk about. I don't believe any of it. I think it's
It
bullshit.
doesn't
I think
matter
it's
what you
conspiracy.
believe.
I
It's
think
not
you have
bullshit. Your
low
fucking
ability to
government's bullshit.
He's
speak
the
the
host.
reality.
Of
It's
course
Your
not.
government's
It's
bullshit.
my panel. I'm telling you now.
I
You can
don't give a
respect
fuck
that,
whose
or
panel it is. You can go fuck.
What? See what I'm talking about? Like, how hard is it to respect the panel host when they're
I
trying?
think he said, "I love you."
They want to sit and fight, and they want the steering wheel. Nobody wanted to have his conversation. None of us were talking about that shit before he showed up.
Exactly.
And when I say politely, Nemesis, this is not what we were talking about. I'd like to move back onto this. He tries to fight me for the microphone so he could have the conversations he want to have. If you're going to bring me up, I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. Well, not on my panel, darling.
You can start your own panel for free via StreamYard.
I would like to move back on to the conversation Chris and I were having about immigration and hear from Dom and Hank and Chuck and whoever else. Or not. We can go watch Survivor.
Well, Chris, say something, right?
I was trying to give.
Sorry, I kind of check out whenever he shows up.
Okay.
You know,
I don't.
I always raise
I don't
the
want
whole
to be
the whole thing. If you can't say anything polite, don't say anything at all, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I don't always follow that advice, but when it comes to someone like that, there's like nothing I can say that's not even like.
I want to give others a chance.
I mean, he's got like flat brain, like flat earther, flat brain kind of thing going on.
Okay. Well, Dom, what is up with you?
Yeah, what's going on, Dom?
Well, what I should try to suggest earlier was, like in Canada, it might be like in the States, there's a lot of underground market. Well, underground. There's probably a lot of markets that benefit from immigrants. You know, the Asian markets, when they come over here, they have different books. The trucking industry, the farming industry. So this is probably more tied in with commerce than it is just with political.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me too. That there's a market for it. That's why it continues.
Yeah. Now with the digital system, that might change a little bit of that. But as long as people can play with cash, you can fudge things up. A lot of other countries, for example, when they build things like when the Olympics or whatever, like they can hire all kinds of people, and unfortunately, some of them can even die, and they just put it under the books. Places like Canada and America is a little bit different. There's more policies. I don't necessarily call them laws, but they're policies. And then you need to enforce them. Usually how we enforce them is with ourselves, with taxation.
Does Canada enforce them, you think? Or are you better enforcing them than we are?
I think it just sounds nice. You know, if they actually start adding up all the numbers, no. It's too big of a beast to control. Like underground market to a point where even the corporations, when it comes to taxes, they're not even.
It's kind of like prohibition. If the underground market is that big, just fucking legalize it. Like it seems like a battle we're not winning. Let's just work with it instead of against it.
They get financial gains from doing it. You know, so let's make it illegal to smoke hemp and then make it legal, and then it's always a third, fourth time offenders. It's a business. You know, our countries are businesses, corporations. So when people look at politicians as their leaders, I say you're not really seeing the true leaders. It's the corporations. They come in forms, whether it's Nike.
Well, I mean, they have influence. I don't know that they're leading and controlling.
Well, most of the citizens
I'm sure they lobby. Like I'm sure they lobby for their interest.
There's a lot of lobbies.
Citizens United makes that even easier.
And plus, we'll call them the elites. They've been doing the globalist thing for at least a couple of decades now. People are still
but not everyone is a globalist. Not every elite is a globalist.
No. When you start trading internationally, you start playing with spot currency, and you realize how much the American currency is tied into a whole bunch of other resources and all that. That's globalist. Now, when you're staying in your own country, in this case, your own state or your own city, Yeah, I get that part, but once you start expanding it,
I'm
you
talking about
realize
the specific movement called globalism with the agenda to like their vision for the future of the planet. That's not every elite.
again, I'm saying the word elite. It could be like the G8s. It could be the World Bank. A lot of us have actually we have all these devices now, so it's able to be implemented because we have the technology.
I just don't believe in the degree of centralization that other people seem to. I think it's as chaotic and random and driven by self-interest of competing groups as any other layer of society. I don't think it gets more centralized just because it's a higher tier of society.
Well, you're Jeff. I'm with you on there. There's a constant theme of trying to order the chaos.
Right.
You're going to have different factions.
But I don't think they're going to be any more successful than any other group that tries to order chaos. So I guess maybe this little subset of people exist that are trying to do this. I don't take them seriously. I'm not scared of them. They don't keep me up at night, and I don't think they're going to be successful.
Personally, I don't lean towards that it should be feared. It's just understand that there's a lot of groups that conspire together, and there's a lot of people that work for them, whether they willingly or unwillingly, they are working for them. Whether you work for the military, CIA. Go ahead. Go ahead, sorry, Jeff.
I said that's just more paranoia than I'm capable of.
It could be. It could be.
People secretly working for other people that they don't know they're working for. I've seen things like that on sci-fi channel shows.
They could be working for people unwillingly, unknowingly. It's not a secret. That's just
something they could be, but it doesn't sound probable that they are.
Well, again, you just have to go to to a municipality and say, okay, so is the mayor of the town running everything? No, there's a whole bunch of other people that are involved in a twisted way.
I do speak for the U.S. Like in Canada, it may be different. I don't know.
Again,
I
know of the U.S. It's not like that.
Yeah, here's how you would do it if you could do it. Pretty much, some people loop all the time and they're predictable. So basically, you just put things in front of them that they'll manipulate. That way, they'll work for you in some sense, but won't know about because they're always going to do a predictable thing.
Yeah, maybe some people. But again, like if you feel like someone's doing that to you, just don't go along with it. If you feel like someone's controlling you or programming you or whatever, just resist.
Yeah, just say no.
We'll do this other thing instead.
Exactly.
Well, Hank, you got anything new? What's going on with you?
I always am, but I don't. What's it? I was on a NoJack panel, but he.
Oh yeah, he did it. That was a good panel that he did.
Yeah, but he put it in private because
he
he's
what?
Weasley. So
he hides the videos.
Yeah, so I may not bother to go on another NoJack panel because he made the invitations. He wasn't explicit saying, "Hey, we can hide the panel when you come on." When he was going.
Why does he do it? Is it to keep his channel or like is he worried about risk?
He didn't explain it yet.
Oh, because it's content. Most people, if they have content, they want to get credit and keep the content.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't want to be caught saying a whole bunch of stuff and someone else hiding it when it could have been visible. Because then people can make anything they want up.
No, I mean, I kind of get you like about that for like, especially if he didn't tell you beforehand. Like, I did a couple panels with him. I mean, a couple of live thing streams with him, where like he privated it before we even finished it. Like, I mean, but he was using it to, he was basically like, he was basically just recording our conversation so that he could take clips and work them into his videos and stuff. So like I think that's what he's doing mostly. I don't quote me on that. I don't know that for sure, but I think he's doing the panels mostly as ways to get like little like pieces and like for his compilation things, his compilation videos.
I can't wait till we start getting royalties for this content other people's making off of us and everybody else.
How are we gonna do that? I don't think you can.
I don't know. You know, that's how it works in the real world. If
We
you
get
use
big for money.
content, you
How
pay
many
royalties.
subs you got now?
Probably 200. We had last time I checked, it was like 275. So I'm predicting we're at 276 if I'm lucky. Let's see.
And we're actually like our videos have been
274. We're losing subs. Y'all, we're dropping.
but
right.
our views have been up above 200 per video. Strangely enough, like for several of the last few streams, which I think I was surprised. I was looking at that. I was like, there weren't streams that even like stood out to me in my mind. So I'm not sure like what it was that attracted that many like posts.
Is it the nighttime streams or daytime?
Both.
Getting the views.
We talked about like maybe moving this up an hour. Have you still noticed that more people are showing up an hour later? It seems like
people definitely show up more around the 3 o'clock mark. They do around the 2 o'clock mark. But at the same time, we can try to like experiment with it, but it could be one of those things where people just won't notice until it's been on for an hour. So like that first
that
hour,
doesn't make sense. That's not how I've seen YouTube work, though. That doesn't make sense to me that they hold it for an hour and then start telling.
Yeah, they don't hold it for an hour. Just that people don't maybe notice it right away. They don't like the longer we're on, the more time people have to actually, like, imagine people are going about their lives doing whatever, and then they sit down and check YouTube and they see that you're off streaming. So the longer you're on,
no
the
matter
more time
when
they have a chance to notice that you're streaming.
Always going to be an hour delay.
Not necessarily always an hour, but I'm just saying, but it probably averages out about that because it's just about people's lives and what they're doing, and the longer you're on, also the more the algorithm will push your stream too.
Yeah, so I'm okay with being used for clip fodder, except I like having the context available just in case I need to defend something.
No, that makes sense to me.
It makes sense to me too.
I get you on that.
I would have thought he would have said that. Like he would have told you guys, because whenever I did the live things I did with him, like we talked about that at the beginning. He's like, I'm not going to be like leaving this up. I just want to have like a conversation about this topic, and I want to see if I can pull some like quotes from it or something like that, for like video stuff. And I was like, cool, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, maybe that's not what he's doing now. Maybe he's hiding them because maybe he hit the stream because maybe there was something he thought was going to get the channel taken down or something. I don't know. I have no
idea. Yeah, I don't know either. So I kind of want the information. I already expressed that. So
did he play music or anything? He did. He occasionally because he wasn't planning on leaving it up. I mean, I think when I did one of those live streams with him, I think he played some like copyright music or something like that.
Well, there's no way for me to check. I didn't hear it when I was there, but there's no way for me to check.
Hank, why don't you just ask him?
I did ask him, Chuck.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm sorry.
Why are you so frustrated today?
Because Chuck doesn't freaking listen to me. I said, why didn't you ask him?
Sometimes that happens. Sometimes
I must have missed that part. I'm sorry. I apologize.
You seem frustrated with our social norms here today because sometimes that happens, and I don't want you taking up stream time.
Chuck's asking me why I didn't do a thing I already did.
Okay.
I don't want to have this conversation. This happens. Sometimes people don't listen. Sometimes you have to repeat. Sometimes people interrupt. If you're looking for a different environment, they're out. They may be out there. This is pretty normal for panels that I've seen. That's why I don't know why people keep harping on things that's normal for the panelverse. Not everyone understands everybody perfectly the first time they say something, even in real life.
Well, that's the reason I kind of get angry because I don't have a record. So he said, why didn't I do the thing I did do? And now I had to defend something that from another timeline.
You don't have to defend anything.
Well, maybe
I don't have to, but I kind of look stupid. I didn't check the question. Why didn't I do the thing I did do?
Is there a way to record it yourself in the future? Maybe.
I'd rather skip the panel
if you restreamed it.
Yeah, if you restream it and they private it, does your stream still stay public?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I guess I could try.
No, I think it's strictly your stream. If like if you especially if you piped it in on StreamYard like as a present thing, you you put the tab over, it's recording its own thing. So
yeah, I think if you restream it, then you still have it up.
Okay.
But then we have the problem that if he may just ask me to pull it down for some reason or another. And I don't want to I don't want to bother with that. So I'd rather just let stay up, and I'll skip the streams that stay up.
Well, yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
I know with that slave world, people have problems restreaming something, then they'll be asked to take it down, and I don't want to bother fighting over it because.
Yeah, because usually to stream, they have to give you permission from their StreamYard in the first place. They know who's streaming or not.
Yeah, otherwise you have to just record the stream from on the stream. Yeah, you start your own session. In that case, they can't really stop you.
Yeah.
any case, I mean, yeah, I can promise you it's not a malicious thing that he's doing, but it is. He should have let you guys know, I guess, if he was planning on doing it.
Well, yeah, just talk to him, see what he says. All right, y'all want to wind down? We've been going a couple hours. I know you have your car to fix.
Well, I'm still waiting on that bit to get here. I can't do anything until that friggin' socket bit shows up.
Okay.
Because like the last few screws I have to remove, they're all 10 millimeter, and take the chance of stripping of these screws. It's like something that's not precise. It's just
we get it. Okay, that's fine. Well, but I think I'm gonna go join Frank and watch some Survivor. Does anybody want to open a stream, or is there a stream I can send everyone to? Let me see who's
live real quick.
Jesse, Missing Link.
Jesse
Moose
live?
is still streaming his yeah,
He's
it's an
playing
interview
games.
with somebody, wellness coach Sean Zimmer.
Moose is playing games, ain't he?
Yeah, Fallout. Moose is doing some live streaming. No, I don't really see. If anyone wants to open a stream and keep it going, I can post the link.
No, I'm good right now. Thank you for asking.
Okay. Well, I'll take a break.
I'm
going
to bail. I just want to let you know about that Plato story. I thought you.
Yeah, I had not heard of it. Thanks.
Okay, we'll catch you guys later.
All right, later, man.
Chuck. All right, and maybe we'll.
I've got some movies. If anybody wants to watch a movie, I've got some movies. New movies to download.
What do you got? I can announce.
I got some classics, and I've got some newer stuff that I don't know much about, but I kind of stuff that.
So if you want to watch movies, get with Chris on the Discord. Just join us on the Discord. If not, contact one of us for an invitation, and we can get you in the Discord.
Yep.
So, and we'll be back either tonight or definitely tomorrow.
Yeah, I do have that Population 436. We could watch that. You want to join us, Auntie? We could watch it together.
All right.
All right. Later, guys.
Okay. Take care. Okay, that's it for us. Until the next time. Will that next time be this evening? Or will it be tomorrow? Stay tuned and find out. Like and subscribe for the latest information. Philip, Auntie, thank you again. Good seeing y'all. Everybody else, Frank, as usual. We'll catch you next time. Yep, stay safe. Have a great evening.